When talking about the Great Depression, there is a very important man who is said to be the worst president in U.S. history. His words trying to shine light on the problem with his philosophy caused it to last longer than it should have. That man was Herbert Hoover, and in this video we will discuss what he did during the Great Depression and what it caused for the people. Herbert Hoover was the 31st president of the United States, and during that time he was in office, the stock market crashed in October of 1929. He did nothing to help the people during that time and left the free market to deal with that economic problem, which led to the Great Depression from 1930 to 1940. Hoover believed in the philosophy that anything can be engineered, which caused him to think that being independent and hardworking would help put the economy back together in a stronger and better way. This picture describes what he thought was the U.S. ideals stood for when he was actually thinking about his ideals to implement in the U.S. That concept was known as rugged individualism.
Rugged individualism was labeled in a speech made by Hoover in 1929, right before the stock market crash. The speech stated that the government has helped the people economically for far too long, leading to no advancements, which he thought would cause idleness and damage to morals. Hoover thought that if the people were to solve their own problems, it would lead to more societal advancements, benefiting the people and the country. He believed that not helping the people as much during the Great Depression would lead to every single individual solving their own problems instead of solely relying on the government. But when it came down to it, he saw no advancements and started taking matters into his own hands because he didn't have faith in one group of people whom he believed would have been able to fix this economic problem because of his substantial ideals, when in reality, they could have fixed the problem from the very start: the free market.
Hoover distrusted the free market because it allowed unrestrained competition between companies. Since it was unrestrained, it meant that it could force other companies to reduce their prices to gain a better profit. But Hoover believed that reduced prices led to reduced wages. Because of his belief, he had meetings with huge CEOs such as Henry Ford of Ford Motors, Alfred Sloan of General Motors, and Pierre DuPont of DuPont Chemicals. The meeting discussed directives that Hoover saw fit for the economy. The first, keeping wage rates the same rate, and the second, minimizing layoffs, making workers share shifts or work every other day. If those directives were met, Hoover promised that he would convince workers to neither strike nor ask for more work benefits. And so, those directives were met, and deals were made by CEOs with Hoover, and Hoover's philosophy was acted out, but it wasn't as good as he believed it to be.
His philosophy failed and many industrial goods declined. Deflation and the act signed by Hoover caused the CEOs to break their deal by cutting wages and increasing layoffs. But by then, it was already too late, and many businesses started to fail. For Hoover to fix his mistake, he started increasing the government spending on major public works projects like the Hoover Dam and Los Angeles Aqueduct, while trying to follow his philosophy and engineer the economy to the best of his ability, when he should have trusted the ability of the free market to heal itself from the beginning.
Hoover turned this problem from being a couple of years to a long decade of unnecessary struggles because of his own ideals and philosophy. He was the wrong man to be put in a situation like this at the wrong time. And because of this, a new nominee stepped forward to replace him in 1933, so that problems like this would never happen again. That man was Franklin D. Roosevelt.
Roosevelt's and Hoover's ideals were entirely different, but the way they both handled the situation was. Roosevelt played a supportive role in the government through his New Deal, which were economic, social, and political reforms that were enacted by him to help respond to the Great Depression, while Hoover did nothing. But what happened to Hoover after he was replaced by Roosevelt? Well, Hoover was put into retirement and became very conservative within his party, which caused many more problems to occur in his party, when he should have just enjoyed his retirement and stopped working.